All right, what's up, YouTube family? What's up, family? Or should I just say YouTube family or family? Which one I should say? You guys can tell me. Welcome to the Sport Club YouTube channel. I'm not even so sure which one to use, but welcome to the Sport Club YouTube channel. I have a new tagline as well. I want you to follow that: the game, the culture, the globe, because that's who we are and that's what we are. But today, on my mind, I want to talk about a couple of things. I know some of the things has been gone for some time, but I still wanted to come back to it because, I start this series that I think I want to just continue, and I want to continue following it until I get some kind of satisfaction where it is concerned. And it is all about where is the money in sports. Athletes can't find the money. I can't see the money. I can't see anything at all, and not in sports, but in track and field in particular. So I want to know where the money is, because it doesn't seem to me that athletes are surviving out of this thing at all. So where is the money in sports? And I want to go back to, something that Asaf Paul spoke about. But before I go there, I just want to, give a big congratulations and shout out to, the Jamaica national trial. It was an awesome trial. It was a very good trial, organized as usual, in a great way. Have little hiccups here and there, but, and I must congratulate some of my stars that I personally like to follow all the time. Kishane Thompson is one of those new upcoming athlete that I think have great potential in the future. Shelly Ann Fraser, as she bought, I must say she was always one of my favorite. I always could, my wife, my family would always challenge me whether or not they think, Shelly was going to win or Elaine was going to win, and I always come out on top. So Shelly has been, my girl from a long time, and I always just keep following her. I like what she did. I like who she is, and I like how she does continue to be a part of the sport. And I hope, Shelly, that you continue, to mold even younger people in the sport. Christopher Taylor, fantastic young athlete from Calabar days. And I like how he's transitioning. I like how, one of the things that I've been watching a couple of videos with is his interview, and that I like how him talking now, him so much more mature in terms of how he's representing his conversation that he has been having, on different platforms and that kind of a thing. I like what I hear from him and how he's preparing himself to even do better. I like the strategy this time around as well. He's trying to get some speed. I'm not so sure if he's even going to go back to the 400 meter. Of course, in high school, he was always a great 200 meter athlete. But hey, listen, the guy's a track and field phenom, and I think he's going to do great things in terms of whatever the discipline he decided to pursue. But I kind of think that he's preparing himself to run a great 400 meter. Let's see. Let's watch it. Tina Clayton, sorry about her sister Tia that she couldn't make the team, but hey, listen, this is track and field, and that's why I wanted to do this topic in regards to where is the money. Let's talk about that. Where is the money in track and field? Where is this money that we all talking about? Megan Tapper, excellent, personal best. You can't get better than that. 13:32. Megan, big up yourself. Wonderful run. And of course, we need to talk about all the other athletes that has, really come about. It was a really great meet. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it immensely. I mean, a lot of people think that the field event didn't do too well, but the field event did well enough. It takes some time to get into the rhythm. The championship is going to be a little bit late, but let's go back to our main topic. Where is the money in sports? And let's go back to, this issue that Asafa Powell had raised this thing, and is he being vindicated totally by what he had said about himself and his kids not, going out for Jamaica? Is it? And my biggest question, and I want you, out there in the social media landscape and in the track and field world, let's comment on this as well. Is there money in track and field? Is there money to be had? Is the sport where the sport needs to be? Is the sport generating money? Or can the sport generate the money? It's not about Jamaica. I hear a lot of persons, and I've watched a lot, and I've sat and I've looked and I've listened and I've read. A lot of people just talking about Jamaica. Yes, the athletes switch and that kind of thing because they think it's just money. For Jamaica, it's not all about just money. It is money, yes, but Jamaica don't have that sort of resources, yes, to pay athletes the kind of way. But I'm thinking based on what I'm seeing to and reading to, that a lot of athletes not saying it's not just about the money, but it's the way you handle them. They are professional people now. You can't handle them like you think this is boys and girls championships. This is not boys and girls championship for them. They are professional athletes and they need to be treated as such. You know, a lot of them complain about the communication between the association and themselves. They don't feel like they're getting that level of respect from the association. I have never spoken to the association before, you know, in my years involved in sports and sports media and that kind of thing. Of course, you know, I know some of the things that goes on. I hear some of the things that goes on, but is it better or is it worse? Know that, you know, everybody athletics has changed its name because now is World Athletics. Now is everybody changed their name to professional names. You know, J3 is not just J3 anymore, right? So that kind of thing. So I'm expecting that you will be treating the athletes now that they are signing contracts and they're doing professional contracts and that kind of thing. So, you know, they are professional people, just a profession, just like everything. But is there money out there in the track and field landscape? I would love to know, because if you compare and when you look at every other sport, imagine table tennis is ahead of track and field, you know. And you would think that track and field would be even more popular than table tennis. I understand that the population of China is huge. The population of India, which make cricket, I think, is the second or the third largest watch sporting event around the globe, right? So you think that track and field would be way above those sports based on its popularity or its assumed popularity, right? But track and field, only time it has a popularity is when there is an Olympic championship, a world championship. Outside of that, it's almost like track and field is not on the sporting calendar or is on the sporting map at all. The numbers are not there. So I have watched the Grand Prix and I've seen the formula that has been applied. Is it that, and I'm going to leave you with these questions, is it that we need to have more events in track and field so that athletes can be competing week out, week in, month out, month in, having an entire season where competition is going on back to back kind of thing? Because when you look at basketball and NFL and even table tennis, these events are played, you know, inside of a season where people can follow it. Gambling is big in sport, you know, and maybe that is a part of it too, that people don't see the sport as often. Football is huge because there is a season where football is played day, week in, week out, and people following people. People are kept abreast of, you know, everything that is happening. Track and field doesn't have that. And a point too that I don't like about track and field, and this goes for the athletes, is that the athletes feels like they're not to be criticized, they're not to be watched, they're not to be, people mustn't take any objection to what they did. One of the things that peeved me about the last Olympics in Paris is that I see Shelly and Sharika. It's almost like they got to the thing with, especially Sharika. It's almost like she went to Paris injured, and it's like they failed to let the fans of the sport understand that this is what they are going through. It's almost like a big secret all the time. Why is it a secret? It don't need to be a secret. It is not a secret when you depend on the people who is coming to pay at the turnstile, to watch you on the YouTube, to watch you on the Facebook, to follow you on whatever platform that you are. Those are the things that is going to build up your numbers that you can make money from, or that sponsors will see as value. But if you're not creating value for yourself, or you're not creating value with these things, because when you look at the NBA and you look at football, you know, people know everything about their players. Everything that you want to know about your player, it is clear. Right now, in track and field is a big secret in terms of sponsorship money, in terms of how much money you make at an event. It's a big secret. Nobody wants to talk about it. Every time you hear about a contract with an athlete is a secret thing. When an NBA athlete signed to something, that is out there. It's clear. But in track and field, everything is a secret. You know, and it can't be a secret when you're a public figure or you're out there. So, I'm not bashing athletes for whatever they feel personally that they want to do, but at the same time, you cannot complain, or the sport cannot complain that you can't make money, right? Because, people don't want to pay you. If you want them to make money, it goes hand in hand. You have the promoter of the event, and you have you as the athlete. You have to go on and then, you have to be open, and the promoters have to be open. So the entire thing, because you only get sponsorship and you get youth sponsorship because you're open. Usain got it because he was such an open person. Maybe not talking about what his financial rewards are, but you could see that he was a part of fans' life. He was a part of their life every single day. When he comes onto the track, he creates a spectacle. He has a personality that sells itself for him. So you as an athlete, you have to find a niche too, right? And I'm going to discuss other things, because I want to bring some coaches and some agents. And what is the money that you make in track and field? What is the money to be made in track and field right now? Is track and field operating on a professional level where an athlete or a youngster out there can say, oh, I want to be an 100-meter star, and know I can make a living from that, and it's clear that a living can be made from it? Are they making a living? There's so much athlete out there who's not making anything at all, and they're out performing for country is not it. Performing, I'm going to say this again, performing for your country, nationalism is not it for track and field. For sport in general, nationalism is not it for sport. Sport is a business career thing. It has nothing to do with your nationality. It has to do with you. If Messi not performing, him not get no sponsorship. If Usain Bolt not performing, him not get no sponsorship. Name a big athlete. Muhammad Ali, if he's not doing what he was doing, him never make the money that he would have made. Tyson, same thing. You name an athlete out there. You name a sporting personality. All of them have different personality. All of them have different things that they do. That's how the money comes. And these are the ones who make the money. All them basketball players that is making good money, it's not just because them performing, it's that a lot of them have different sponsors. So even though you get a big payday, who gets sponsorship is the one who have character, the one who have personality. So track and field need to get into that game as well. And of course, the sport itself and the organizers of track and field, we need to have something that we can follow all the time. You can't just have Olympics every 4 years, World Championships every 2 years. Nobody's going to follow you, because you have little Diamond League meet here, little Diamond League meet there, little meets here, little meets there. We need to have a seasonal thing. We need to have, I'm thinking that. That's what I'm thinking, right? So let's try and do that. Let's try and have a conversation around that. That's my view on it. And I would love persons to discuss that even more with me. Let us discuss it even further. All right. So remember to like, share, and subscribe on this platform. Of course, it is Sports Globe, and I'm Richard. And I want you to leave your comment here, because it's important for my discussion. I'm not a YouTuber by any means, but I'm growing into it, and I'll get into it. I've started and stopped one thing. But leave your comment, because that too helped me to do better, right? So leave your own personal comment, and let's see how we can get better at this thing. All right? So always, one love. The game, the culture, the sport. All right? Thank you so much. All right, bye-bye.